Welcome back everybody to Project Zomboid. In the previous video I gained a lot of comments and tips that were really helpful from all you guys. And with all this new information and knowledge, I really wanted to try it again. So that's why we are going to try and survive for a week this time. And hopefully we can build a base this time, because that's also what I wanted last time. So I picked the burglar this time with the following traits. And our main man, the man who had to do it, was called Dexter Jean, with some nice jeans on. I eventually also gave him a baseball cap, because why not? And we were set to go. So the first day was, looting the whole house you start in. And eventually I came across my first zombie, so I eventually killed that zombie. And compared to last time, I really had the idea that I could handle these zombies a lot better. After killing a couple of them, I eventually came to this zombie. Came with a fresh new Casio watch. Took the watch and I decided to loot some more buildings in the neighborhood. Found a fresh hoodie, so I grabbed that because, it's better protection for me. So I eventually decided to, kill some more zombies, because that's what the whole game is about. And I was actually pretty happy with the progress I made in these fights. Eventually came back in the house where I started, and I had the first sleep of my save, which was pretty nice because I wasn't able to actually do this in my last video. And the alarm clock was also going off, but I was in time to put this off. So a new day, new chances to loot some buildings. I eventually came to this big street where I also killed some zombies, and I came across this building. I didn't actually know what this building was. I really wanted to go inside, but there, were a lot of zombies, so I eventually had to cancel my whole plan. And I actually had to sort of run away from all these zombies. I eventually managed to find a car, and there were like a lot of zombies approaching this vehicle. So I started the car and made my way out of this mess, because I didn't see this much zombies yet in Project Zomboid, so I was very scared. But I eventually continued like strolling down the city, and I came across the bookstore. I parked my car in a safe spot. I then checked the streets if it was safe, which wasn't, but I managed to kill the zombies that were like sort of camping in front of the bookstore. So actually I had a safe environment to go into the bookstore. So I went into the bookstore, got me some books. I got the electrician book, the foraging book, and the carpentry volume 1 book. I thought for now this is enough, so I took another car. I took actually a cab in order to get back to the house. And eventually I returned to my crib without injuries or bites or something else, and therefore I deserved a good rest. So with my new books in my inventory, I decided to read as much as I could on this day. And eventually I also watched some TV. An apocalypse can be pretty boring. I also decided to mark my house as my base on this map. And eventually I read some more in my books. I was like really digging into these very interesting books. We also had to explore some more. And I decided to go over this iron fence. This section was this very big building. Where I had to kill some zombies again. Military boots and a firefighter jacket. And at that moment I came to the conclusion that this was actually the fire department. It was pretty interesting because a lot of people said that this was a very good place to start your base. Decided to abandon the old base and make the fire department my new base. I decided to work on my carpentry. Later on I attacked some zombies that were, strolling around my place, my base. So I eventually wanted to make the whole base safe so that no zombies were approaching the building. And when that was done, I was actually pretty happy with the progress I made this day and decided to take a good rest. I woke up pretty early and decided to watch some more TV. After that I worked on my carpentry again. I found out that like reading the books only works as a multiplier, so I actually had to do some work as well in order to eventually level your carpentry. I worked a lot on that, and eventually I got to level 1, which I was pretty happy about. And as a reward I could watch some more TV. I also got this tip about these escape ropes. So I attached 2 escape ropes to the building, and I decided to sleep again. Next day it was time to search for a bag, because I really needed a backpack in order to make looting a lot easier. So my plan was to find someone with a backpack on. Eventually came to this building which says bail bonds, and I decided to go in. But once I entered the building, there wasn't really much. So there was another building, and I decided to go into this building, which was the inn. Of course, I found a lot of booze. You know, this could come in handy when I wanted to give a party or something else. And I found a gun. Wow, a pistol. So that was it for me. I decided to leave the building and I wanted to go home with my beautiful fire department truck. On my way home, I saw a zombie with a backpack. Decided to do a little drive-by and I wanted to kill the zombie with the axe I had in my hand. But, you know, a lot of zombies were approaching me. So eventually this plan was pretty bad, I guess. I eventually had to flee the scene. I had to leave my car behind, which was pretty unfortunate. And I had to save myself again. So when I was a bit recovered from this, you know, very anxious trip, looked on my map and I saw that I was pretty close to my base. So I eventually returned. My man Gene was, you know, just exhausted. So he took a good rest, decided to get back his belongings. So I took another car in order to, you know, abandon this one and get the fire truck back. My plan was to first, you know, attract all the zombies with the car so that eventually a whole horde of zombies was following me. And when I thought, you know, this is enough, I returned to the crime scene and decided to get back my car. So I made my way to the car, but apparently there were still a lot of zombies surrounding my car. But I was brave and stupid enough to fight all these zombies. Only a couple of hours of experience in this game and my overconfidence in killing these zombies eventually was not skillful enough to take on these zombies and I died. But this time I, you know, didn't survive for only a couple of hours, but I survived 5 days and 15 hours, which wasn't a week, but I am still pretty happy with the end result because now I know a lot more about this game and I'm really confident that I will do better next time. Thank you for watching and I see you soon in a new Project Zomboid video.